Okay, before this video actually starts, I already know for a fact people are going to comment that my foundation's collapsing and I need to get that fixed immediately. It's already fixed. There's actually a beam that was installed down there and is sitting on a couple of concrete pours. That's what's actually holding the house up anymore. That over there, it's not doing anything except just sitting there and slowly falling apart until one day I have a big gaping hole there. But the house will not fall with it. So don't relax, don't worry. The house is not going to fall over on me. It's safe, it's sound, and it passed the city inspection, so we're good. So just wanted to put that out there before this video starts. So let's talk about this now. This is a Honda lawnmower. Is that all I wrote down on my hand? No, it's not. This is a Honda lawnmower that I picked up at a garage sale for a whopping 30 bucks. And it's served me well for the last few years that I've had it. I've probably had it for about 2 years now, so I guess that's not really saying a whole lot. But I do like the thing and it runs great. It has a Honda engine of some sort of displacement that I am not aware of or even yet care about. I have no idea what year this thing was made. It just serves its purpose for what I use it for. And what's nice about it is it's self-propelled. So I can engage it and have it go in gear and it just pulls itself up the big hill right over here, which is really nice. However, despite how much I actually like this thing, there are a few downsides with it. For starters, I find it interesting that the body of this thing is made out of plastic instead of metal. So I thought that was interesting. Although the good news about that is at least it won't rust, but my fear is it will biodegrade over time. But something tells me that the engine might die before then because I don't do any oil changes on the thing. The only oil change I've ever done to it was when I first got the thing, so there's that. It also does not have the bagger anymore, which I never had the bag whenever I got it because you're supposed to be able to put a bag on this thing to fill it up, but I just put it in mulch and have it mulch everything up, which I really wouldn't use the bagger anyway. I would just mulch the yard, which has actually proven to be a problem at times. Yeah, there's times where I just cut the grass and with so much grass clumped up in the mower deck, it just dies. I have no idea what kind of output that this engine puts out, but I'm not quite so sure if it's actually enough. There is a little spec tag on the side, so maybe I'll read that here in a sec. Okay, well I thought this was a specification tag. It turns out it's a EPA tag, so never mind. So a few things about this mower when I got it. The guy sold it to me for 30 bucks. As I mentioned earlier, he claimed that he couldn't get the clutch to engage for the blades because there's two levers up here. There's one up here for the clutch for the blades, and there's also one here for the clutch for the wheels, because I told you earlier it was self-propelled. Well, the one for the clutch for the blades, however, he said he couldn't get it to engage because he said this little mechanism down here was broken. Only to discover that it wasn't broken. I guess he didn't realize, because he said he got this mower used, I guess he didn't realize that there's a safety lock you have to push down on to get it to actually engage. And when you actually engage this thing when the engine's running, which is what you're supposed to do, you have to do it really slowly, because if you just push the safety down and just slam it in to engage it, the engine dies. So what you have to do to get it to start up is you have to push down on the safety and gently feather it ever so slightly. You'll hear the engine slightly bog, and if it starts sputtering a lot, kind of ease off of it a little, and then kind of just ease gently into it. You don't want to go very fast at all, so just go super slow, super easy, and then once you finally get it to engage, you're good. But you just have to go really slow, because there's actually been times where I tried to engage this thing and I end up killing the engine. And despite the fact that the engine says easy start on the top of this thing, it's far from easy start. You just have to keep yanking and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And there's no primer valve on this thing, but it does have a choke. So there's that. But why it's so difficult to start, I have no idea. Now, when I first got the thing, it didn't run right. It just kind of sputtered when it ran. So I really couldn't get it to do anything. So I tried to mess around with it and tried to clean out the carburetor with some carb cleaner, and I still couldn't get it to run right. So I ended up taking it to my brother, he's not a professional mechanic, but he knows how to work on small engines. So I took it to him to see if he could figure out what's going on with it. And it fired right up and ran just fine for him. So I guess I just didn't get it cleaned out. And after that one, just wasn't running. I don't know. I don't know if the gunk that was in the carburetor just got sucked right in the engine when he fired it up and I didn't mess around with it long enough. I don't know. But after that, it ran fine. So who knows? So I've already mentioned that with this thing, when the grass is really tall, if I try to cut with the self-propelled engaged, it'll die. So I actually have to slow it down a little. And two ways you could do that is you can kind of just feather out on the clutch a little, which is not recommended, or you could use the speed adjustment right here. So there is actually a mechanical speed adjustment. Exactly what controls the speed adjustment, I have no idea. I've never really looked into that mechanism because it works and I don't see a reason to take it apart. There is one thing I do kind of find curious about this mower, and that is the condition of the handlebars versus the condition of the engine. Here's what I mean by that. So the handlebars up here actually have a lot of rust right here, and there's a little bit here, and there's some over here too, which I kind of expect this because it rubs the paint off. So I get that, but why is there so much rust right here? When you go down to the engine, there's really no rust at all. And granted, the engine's made out of aluminum, and aluminum does not rust, but it doesn't appear to be pitting at all either. So the engine seems like it's very well built and the handlebars are not. So I found that very interesting. And like I said, plastic body. As a matter of fact, when I look underneath the mower, I really don't see metal structure in the frame whatsoever. Just plastic and a lot of grass that needs to be cleaned out of this thing. Oh my gosh, I haven't cleaned this thing in forever. And the metal blades, which honestly are not really that sharp anymore, but they do cut the grass pretty well yet, so I guess I don't need to worry about it yet. But yeah, the yard looks really nice, so there's that. And here's the drive mechanism right here for the wheels that I really don't know how it works, and I'm not going to mess with it because it works perfectly fine. I honestly could not tell you if this engine has been replaced on this body at one point. My only guess is probably no. Most people at that point just replace the mower whenever the engine's worn out because it's cheap enough to do that. But honestly, I couldn't tell you. I really could not tell you. I just find it interesting that the engine has almost no rust on it, but the handlebars have a lot of rust on them. So maybe somebody parked it underneath their deck like so and just had the handlebars poking out. I honestly could not tell you. Now I do know for a fact that this engine can't be super old because it actually has an overhead valve on it. The real early lawnmower engines were just flathead engines, but this one actually has an overhead valve. Still a single cylinder engine, but you know, overhead valve. Yeah. I don't even know why I'm talking like that. This is stupid. So yeah, this is my lawnmower. It's just an older Honda lawnmower that I picked up at a garage sale that's self-propelled, and it serves its purpose really well. It's perfect for me for cutting the grass and texting while mowing, which is something I would not recommend to anybody. I mean, the state already says don't text while driving. Well, don't text while mowing either, especially if you're on a rider. And that's it. Not really a whole lot to say about it. Just